1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 1. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hi. We'll have a minute or two so that everyone can join our live stream today. I can see already some messages in the chat. Hello, Boast Event. Nice of you to join us. So today I have prepared about an hour where I will be talking about our stuff, what we do, what our controllers are capable of, and I will also mention some stuff about our software and also how to work with pixels in general. And hopefully I will be able to help you with some of your projects. I would like to welcome those that already know our software hardware and also newcomers who maybe are looking for a control system for their pixels and are maybe trying to find out whether our stuff is the right choice for them. If the sound is okay, please let me know, or maybe if it is not okay, mention that as well in the chat. And I think that's it for now. We will have 1 minute so that we can wait for those that were not on time, and we will start. Thank you, thank you. I'll see you in a second. One, two, three, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Hello, hello. I'm back again. Had a little misfunction with the mic. this little thingy that is on top of the mic fell off. So hopefully it won't change the quality or decrease the quality of the sound. Maybe I can try to put it back on somehow, but it will eventually fall off. So never mind. I think that those that were late already joined us. So hello, welcome again. I've called this event an online training, but rather than a training, it will be a session, hopefully an open chat with those that are connected about our stuff and about your problems. My name is Michael and we are LED Strip Studio. A little bit about the history of the company. We've been on the market producing hardware and software for control of LEDs for over 15 years now, I think. So during the time we've produced a lot of different controllers for both analog and pixels and digital pixels, and we've got a unique software where you're doing the mapping with curves rather than rigid matrices and tables, and that is quite unique on the market. We've done a lot of TV studios here in Slovakia and in Czech Republic, and we've done projects as far as Rwanda, which is in Africa, and our products are shipped almost every day to all parts of the world. I will mention Singapore and Brazil and a lot of places around the world. Today I would like to speak about or talk about what our devices are capable of, and I will start with the very, very basics. What is analog strip and what is digital strip and what is the difference, and what controllers we have for both, and how you can control the content that is playing on those LED strips. Behind me you can see that I have a lot of stuff on the table, and hopefully I will be able to get through everything that is on top of that table. If there are any questions, I will be super glad to answer them. So please write them in the chat, and after every 5 or 10 minutes I will go here to chat and I will check them out, and I will be able, hopefully, to answer all. And if it will be something that I can show you that I have prepared on the table, I will be super glad to show that to you right now. Or if I won't be able to answer, I will make sure that I will respond to you by email. Okay, I will move back there. Hello from Colombia. Hi. Okay. And we can change the camera. Like this. One, 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 two, three, one. Okay, so as I mentioned, I would like to explain in detail what is the difference between analog and digital LED strip. I have here on the table a lot of different examples of both analog and digital strip, and I want to demonstrate what you are capable of doing with each type of the strip. And I will start with an analog strip, since it is a bit simpler, a bit older, the technology I mean, and it's still widely used in different areas such as entertainment, stage building industry, or TV studios, and lots of different places. The main advantage of your analog LED strip is that you can use your DMX to control the content that is playing. I have two small dimmers here on the table. This is called Lady Dimmer. It is a 4-channel dimmer to which you can either connect 4 single color analog LED strips, or you can use RGB strip, which is this type, which has 3 LEDs inside each pixel or inside each LED. And with 4 channels that you have available with Lady Dimmer, you can mix your own color. Those 3 LEDs are red, green and blue. And you are using 3 channels to mix your own color. I will attempt to do right that with this old school DMX console. It can be, of course, any kind of DMX signal source, so it can be a software or something more advanced. As you can see, this is very simple device, but it will serve its purpose. For DMX on the Lady Dimmer, we are using RJ45 connectors. Since the cables are pretty cheap, reliable, you can take it on a very long distance, but you need to make a connector. We've got all the schemes on our page where you can find how to make one for yourself. So let's try to connect this to our first Lady Dimmer. And let's see what our first slider will do. The microphone thingy already fell off. So I'm using the first slider, that is the first channel, to control the segment that is connected to my first channel on the Lady Dimmer. With first slider, I am controlling the brightness. Since this is only one color strip, I can only control the brightness. Second slider is our second channel, that is the second segment, third and fourth. Since this is only a 4-channel device, you can only control 4 single channel pixels or strips. If you want to control multiple, you have to daisy chain multiple dimmers in a row. For each dimmer, you have to set up an address so that you can work with not only 4 segments, but with multiple. Let's try our 4-channel Lady Dimmer with an RGB strip. That is, there are 3 pixels or 3 LEDs inside each. Now you will see that with single slider, that is with one DMX channel, I am controlling single color with or for all the segments that are connected. This is our first channel, second and third. I mentioned that Lady Dimmer is a 4-channel dimmer. That is, if your RGB analog strip would have also white color LED inside, you would be able to also light up that single LED. But I only have a strip which is RGB, not RGBW. So the limitation and also the advantage of your analog LED strip is that you can light up the whole segment and only the whole segment to a single color. With different values for different channels, you can set up the color that you like. That is your analog RGB pixel. I like green. So that is analog. For those of you who are working in the entertainment industry or are building stages, I would recommend to visit our page where you can find all our products. We've got one bulky, massive device which is called Mr. Dimmer. It has a built-in power supply and it has 4 outputs for your analog strips. So it's great since it already has a power source. It's great for any non-permanent installations where you will just install it, connect some strip, someone will play a concert, and then you will take everything and you will move on to a next stage. I think that's it for the analog, so very simple. You are using DMX to control it, either console or software, and you can light up only the whole segment, and the whole segment only. Okay, we want to turn this off. So that was the analog strip. How about the digital or pixel or dream color or any other synonym that you already read on the internet, or someone told you buy this dream color strip because it has amazing colors, or buy this pixel strip because it's even better than dream color? I can assure you those are all the same names for the same, or different names for the same thing. They are all pixel strips. That is, one LED has, or one pixel has 3 LEDs inside, and you can control each of those individually. So you can light up each pixel one by one with whatever you want, whatever color you want. I have here, what do I have here? This is, by the way, our LEC3 controller, or LED Ethernet controller 3. This is the flagship controller that we are producing. And on it, I want to show you I will use DMX. I can see that there are already some questions in the chat, perhaps. So we can check those. Ah, okay, someone is already taking care of that. That is nice. Okay, so right now I've connected still my DMX, because you can use DMX to control the controller or the device. You can do different things with DMX actually. You can control the pixels one by one, or you can control the content that is on the SD card, but about that a little bit later. I wanted to show you that pixel and how you can very easily with digital emulate analog strip. As you can see, right now I'm still using DMX. The device is in DMX pixel mode, that is, with 3 channels I am controlling single pixel. And remember, that pixel has 3 LEDs inside. So with my first slider, the pixel is green, now red, now blue. With the next 3 channels, I am controlling my second pixel. Next 3, my third pixel. This is a great advantage of digital strips or digital pixels in general. You can control each one of those individually. That means you can play, for example, any kind of video on your LED strips. For that you can use some specialized software like LED Strip Studio software, for example, which is pretty nice. I've told you that you can very easily simulate your analog strip with digital. I will show you a little trick. Because not always you need the digital pixel, or you need the control of your digital pixel, or each pixel. Little technical difficulties. There you go. went too far. This is the web config of your device. It's an HTML page that is inside your device, so you don't really need an internet to access this. It is a page in each device, and in this page you have all the settings that you need for your device. Right now, as I mentioned, the controller is in a VMX pixel mode. That is, you can control with 3 channels, 1 pixel. If you want to emulate your analog strip, you have an option to set how many LEDs there will be per pixel. So we can put in 10, for example, and 10 pixels are now controlled with a single channel. You can put in maximum of, hopefully that is visible. You can put in a maximum of 4096 LEDs per pixel, so very, very, very long segment. But if I want to light up this whole segment to a single color and emulate analog, I would say I can put in 15. Whoopa. Maybe even more. 30. Even more. We'll put in 50. Unfortunately, you can't really do this with analog strip. You can't emulate with analog your digital strip. But if you don't really need for a particular job the capabilities of your digital strip, you can do it with, you can emulate analog with digital. So very simple. I will mention several more times the WebConfig and how it works and where are all the settings necessary. I will double check again if there are some questions. Hoppa. Okay. That is the main advantage of your digital strip, that you can control each pixel individually. Like the analog strip, the digital strip you can divide into several categories or several different types. The strip that I have here works on 12 volts. That is, you can't really use a power source that would be, for example, 5 volt. And yes, that is the second type of strip or voltage wise. You have 5 volt strips, 12 volt strips, 24 volt strips. Maybe even with digital you get 48 volt strip, but I am not 100% sure about that. Why does it matter? What is the voltage of your strip? Well, first of all, if you would use a power source that will be different, that will have different voltage, for example 12 volt on 5 volt, you might damage your strip, so I don't really recommend it. Second thing is with higher voltages, you can use segments that are much longer and you don't need to power them every couple of meters. Let me expand on that. With 5 volt strip, you have to power it every 2.5, 3 meters. With 12 volt strip, you can power it every 5 meters. Standard roll of your LED strips of your LED strip is 5 meters, so you can install it and you only have to, or you can only power it from one side. So higher the voltage, the less power injection points that you need, and that is less power supplies and a bit cheaper installation and the project. So it really depends on If you can get your hands on a 12 volt strip, we can only recommend it, since a couple of years ago we are only working with 12 volt strips, and we're super glad that we've come to that from the 5 volt, which was also okay. The stability and everything was great. However, the installation process is a bit simpler with 12 volt. You might have different, that is another option for your strip. You might have different pixel densities on digital strips. This one has 60 pixels per meter. You can get a strip which has 30 pixels per meter, or you can even have 120 pixels per meter. Of course, that will require a lot of power supplies. So if you have a strip which has 30 pixels per meter, you would need half of the power supplies. For example, I want to show you one not that special but different type of digital strip. It has 60 LEDs per meter. We will change this back to 1. It has 60 pixels per meter, 60 LEDs per meter, sorry, but 3 LEDs per pixel. I am still using my console, hopefully it is visible. As you can see, with single DMX channel, I am still controlling single pixel. We can perhaps change the view. With my single channel, I am controlling still 1 pixel because I changed it in the WebConfig, but as you can see, 3 LEDs are light up. This is a kind of strip that you can use for some outdoor installation, or where you don't need that high resolution, where the viewer will be further away from your strips. There will be some diffusers in front of those, and you will save the cost on the pixel controllers. You will also save the cost on your power supplies, and overall this might be very good strip for certain types of projects. I mentioned already that several times that your LED is not the same as your pixel. The pixel can have multiple LEDs. The pixel can have multiple LEDs, and that is very important whenever you are buying any kind of controller for your strips. Most of the controllers, you will find an information how many pixels or perhaps how many universes you can control with those. So it is very important for your project to figure out what it will be the pixel density, and from that you can tell how many controllers you will need, etc., etc. Another division, another way how to divide the LED strips or pixel strips, digital strips, is which IC they are using. I will again show you a table, and this is from our page. One, two, three, yes, where you can find all supported ICs that our controllers support. This information is critical for you to find out better in advance whenever you are preparing a project, so that you can double check either with us or with this table whether our controllers are capable of controlling your strip. As you can see, there are many different types of ICs. We support, I think, something over 50 types. And whenever you are working with our devices, you have to set up what IC, what chip type your pixel strip has, and you have to select that for each output individually. This information is not always available on the package or the packaging of your strip, so you might want to double check with the producer or with the shop where you are buying your strips what is the IC, and then double check with us whether you will be able to control your strip with our devices. But as I mentioned, we support most of the most common strip types, and it's not a problem for us to add support for new strip types or ICs whenever we receive a sample which will have, let's say, 1,000 pixels or something like that. Then we can add support for it. So if you have a strip that you were not able to find in that table of ours on our page, let us know and we'll be more than happy to add support for it. Maybe you want to ask whether there is some substantial advantage to some ICs and whether some are not that good. Right now, in most of our projects, we are working with a strip type which is WS2815, I think, and it is a strip that has a backup data line. That is, whenever one pixel will go off, it will get damaged. Everything after that pixel will still work. This is one advantage of this particular IC or strip type, or the design of the strip, so we can recommend this. However, there are tons of different strip types, and you might want to do some research before you start to use some. I know that some are consuming less power, some are consuming power even when they are turned off, or it seems that they are turned off. Some are capable of higher frame rates or higher frames per second. Which I can also show you, because we have this info also available for those that are seeking higher frame rates. I have older, that's a pity. I have older version of the firmware in this one, but in this table, in the outputs, you can find what is the theoretical maximum of frames per second for each strip type. So probably if you want to play some video content on your LED strips, you might want to look into that and pick one where you can achieve higher frames per second. I mentioned already that most of the controllers that you can buy on the market, not only from us, they will have an information on how many pixels you can control. We have several types of controllers, and those have several outputs, some of them only have one output, and each of those outputs can control a certain number of pixels. The lowest number that you can control is 1024. That is with our LEC3 controller, SPI matrix, those have 4 outputs, or our 2 small controllers, 4 digital pixels, that is Reactivo and SPI LED controller. those can control 1024 RGB pixels. And this is very important. I already mentioned with analog strip that you can have a LED which not only has RGB, so 3 LEDs inside, but also white. And you have to then decrease the number of maximum controllable pixels from 1024 to 768, because rather than 3 channels, you are using 4 channels to control a pixel. Okay, I can see that the discussion is live. Hopefully I'm able to answer everything, but I will just quickly check. Okay, I'll put a note. How does the power injection work? And the LED strip, that is the best, or the one that we are using, I can see that yes, WS2815, 60 LEDs or pixels per meter. So that is one that we are using, and it has that backup line. Anyway, 1024 pixels RGB, 768 RGBW. Currently we are only supporting up to 4 channel pixels, and hopefully in the near future we will have a controller which will be able to control even more, 5 that is. How we like to think about the controllers that we sell, you might find cheaper alternatives where you find an information how many universes you can control. I will explain later on what an universe is and what an ArtNet is in general, but we like to give you the information to our customers or potential customers that our controllers are capable of controlling this and this and this number of pixels. I'll quickly get another table from our page. That is, by the way, a great source of information where you can find basically everything about our devices, and also a lot of know-how on how to work with pixels in general. This is the table, the comparison of our controllers. So we've got one very small controller, is this one. SPI LED controller. With that you can control 1024 RGB pixels or lower number of RGBW pixels. It's a great little device which you can control with DMX. You can't really connect it to your PC since it's not a network device. So you have to create your effect, upload it onto an SD card and then play it from a card. All of our devices have a slot for an SD card so that you can play it as a standalone player for your content and then trigger that content by different means. So that is SPI LED controller, 1024 pixels. We are going higher up with SPI matrix, 4 outputs, and each of those outputs can control up to 1024 pixels. I say up to because we have 3 different pixel versions. We have 1024, 2048 and 4096, and you can purchase whichever version you want or whichever version will suit the project that you are working on. Of course, we won't make you to buy, because it can happen that you buy a pixel version which does not suit your needs. You need more pixels. You can always upgrade on our page in the shop the pixel version that you have. If you'll scroll all the way down, you can purchase an upgrade for yourself, thus increasing the number of controllable pixels, and then hopefully you will have enough, or you can purchase multiple controllers. So whenever you need more, you can upgrade. You can control both the SPI matrix and the LEC3 with a lot of different ways. One of those is DMX, as I've shown you. DMX you can use to either emulate analog strip that is in the pixel mode, or you can trigger the content from your SD card, and that content you can create in our software or any third-party software for that matter. And yes, you can use ArtNet, as I mentioned, and it will always work as a standalone player. Always means always. There is not a license, or your device will work until the end of time. It will work even if you won't have the license, or even if our company will cease to exist. You will be still able to play the content from the card with whatever means that you want. How does the license for our software works? I will just quickly mention. This device, LEC3, is a hardware key for your software. Whenever you connect your LEC3 to your PC or to your network and open the software, search for the devices on the network. The software will be able to find the device, and the watermark from the software will be gone, and you can use it. With SPI Matrix, you can use any third-party software, or you can get a license from us for ArtNet. We like to think about SPI Matrix as a device which has most of the functionalities as LEC3, but it's aimed on those that perhaps don't want to use our software yet. So you can use any third-party software. I already mentioned ArtNet lightly, and those of you who are familiar with ArtNet, you know that you are not counting pixels, but rather how many universes your controller will handle or your software will handle. If I mentioned that this LEC3 can control 1024 pixels, it will be 6 universes for SPI Matrix. 2048, 12 universes. 4000, some number of universes. So if you want a great controller that will work with any third-party software, SPI Matrix is your choice. And I want to mention again, this will always work as a standalone player. So you don't need our software or the license for ArtNet. And you don't really need any kind of software. If you are happy with the effects that you have on the card, you can play them and play them and play them. And this will always work as a standalone player. And I forgot to mention Reactivo, which is our smallest pixel controller or network device, which you can connect to your PC and create your effects in either our software or some third-party software. Maybe I forget to mention, or I will mention it again. If it is a network device, you can connect it to your PC or to your network and see live what you are doing in the software. Something that the SPI LED can't really do. All these three, you can do it with it. Reactivo is a great little device. Again, 1024 pixels or 6 universes, and yes, it will work with, it works basically as a converter from ArtNet to SPI, which is the data that are coming to your strip, or the strip can translate that into colors, basically. So those are our controllers. I will perhaps, there was a question, how does a power injection works? And before I will dive into different or second topic, I can draw you something. I'm not that good, but hopefully it will be enough for you to understand what a power injection is. And when you should actually introduce more power to your strips. Great, it's working. So let's take an example of 5-volt strip. You've got your power supply and you have your controller. And here on the controller you have 4 outputs. Okay? And to the 4th output you have connected 5 meter of LED strip. I've told you that I'm not that good, so pardon the quality of the image. You've connected 5 meter of strip. You've connected your power supply also to your strip. At the end of the 5 meter roll, you've connected the power at the beginning of the strip. At the end of the strip, you can notice that although you play white color on the whole length of the strip, at the end of that 5 meter roll, it's starting to get yellow. This is a typical case of you losing color accuracy because of the voltage drop. What you have to do with 5-volt strip, you have to make at least 2 or 1 power injection point and 1 main injection point. Remember one very important thing: you don't have to introduce the power at the beginning of your strip. Unlike the data, where you have to connect the signal to the beginning of the strip, the power you can connect wherever you want. So, and I'm not an expert, but if you want to power 5 meter of strip, which is 5 volt, you, from the very same power supply, have to connect power also at the end of the strip. Or you can connect it somewhere in the middle. The 12-volt strip, on the other hand, you have to introduce power every 5 meters. So if you have a standard roll of your strip, which is 5 meters, you can, if you want, only introduce power from the power supply at the beginning of your strip, and you won't notice at the end that the white color will start to get this yellowish, that is, you won't get voltage drop. Of course, if you are connecting multiple strips, do we have signal? Yes. Of course, if you are connecting multiple strips, then you have to introduce power every 5 meters for your 12-volt strip, and again from the same power supply. So if I will connect another strip here, I will connect the power also here. If you go higher for 24-volt strip, I think it's every 10 meters where you have to introduce power or do a power injection point. We have a handy little calculator on our page. Where you can, and it's here, Pixel LED calculator, where you can calculate, surprisingly, how many power injection points you need for your project. There are several settings or information needed for the calculator to work properly. That is, how many meters of strip you want to use. Let's say 100. What is the pixel? density, that is how many pixels there are in 1 meter. So the default is 60. You can scroll a bit down. The default is 60, but you can change it to whatever value you want. You can also select which controller you want to use for your project, and it will calculate for you how many power supplies you need, how many controllers you will need for 100 meters in our case, what will be the total number of pixels, and how many power injection points you also need. That is how many times you have to introduce more power to your strip. So this can be a nice little tool which is available for everyone on our page, which can help you with your projects to calculate how many power supplies, how many controllers you will need. Okay. Let's see what's in the chat. If you have any questions in regards to either our controllers or pixels in general, please write them in the chat so that I can answer them, if I will be, of course, able to answer those. Apart from the controllers, that I have already shown you, we are also producing and developing a lot of different gadgets, and those gadgets can help you with your projects. One example is whenever you want to send the data from your controller on a long distance, the data can get corrupted, they can get damaged, and from the device to the strip they won't travel undamaged, so you won't be able to see what you are sending actually from your device. For that purposes we have a number of different accessories, if I may. One of those is our SPI lamp, which you can see here on the table, which basically does two things. It can split the signal, so basically you can multiply your outputs, and it can send the signal on a long distance. Anyway, when I say long distance, you can easily use an Ethernet cable that will be 100 meters long. We even tested 300 meters, but our recommendation is not to go too wild. So 100 meters is something that will definitely work with SPI lamp. An additional value for an SPI lamp is that you don't have to connect the ends of the strips. I've got it set up right here. Normally what you would have to do is you have to connect one or the end of your segment to the second one, right? If you don't have that option and you really want to avoid it because it is a complication, of course, then you can use for that very purpose an SPI lamp. I'll try to show this to you in a little detail. It's a simple PCB with a couple of mounting holes. You can fit the device or this gadget into an electrical box so that you can protect it against elements, and you can seal it pretty good, for example, against rain. You've got an input and output on the SPI lamp, so that is for the data to come into your device and then go out. You've got a out for your strip, and you also got a connector for your power, and you're powering your strip through your SPI lamp, so you have to introduce enough power into that SPI lamp. You can have the minimum pixels that you can connect to that SPI lamp is 9, the maximum is 1024, which does not make that much sense, but you can do it. So again, great if you don't want to connect the ends of the strips, or
you can't or you don't want to. And another advantage is that you can multiply your segments. So that is the SPI lamp. And believe me when I say that eventually you will find yourself in a situation where you will need something to solve long data transmission. The distance from the device to your pixel, and this is really subject to a test. We say that whenever it is more than a couple of meters, that is maybe 2, perhaps for some better strips it can be even longer, but if it's more than 2 meters, then you have to use something so that your signal will be reliable. It can be either an SPI lamp or the symmetrizer or a buffer. Those can help you with different distances. So for example, the symmetrizer and the SPI lamp, I already mentioned, you can use it for data transmission for more than 100 meters. The buffers, they can be used for smaller distances. They will boost the signal and you want to place them between your segments. We'll have a little drink. I think it's already an hour. And I can hear something is playing here. Mm-hmm. I think we still have a couple of minutes left, so if there are no questions in regards to the controllers or to the gadgets, or right now, please write them to us wherever you want, on Facebook, Instagram, or send us an email, and we'll be able and more than glad to answer those. I'll show you a channel where you can contact us. I think if you will check out the reviews on our Google account, you will find out that most of our customers are very happy not only with our controllers, but also with the support that they get. On our page, there is a dedicated wiki page where you can find all the information in regards to both the software and the hardware. If you're not able to find the information here, you can always book a consultation with us, and that is a free consultation. You can schedule a time slot, and we'll be more than happy to answer the questions that you might have about our devices, but also we can help you with the process of the installation, or to get the plan for your installation done, so that you will be sure that your idea is doable and that you get the right tools and right hardware and software for your project. So feel free to visit this page or the book a consultation page, book a slot, or check out this page where you can find how to start with an LED project or pixel project, and send us then an email, and we'll be more than happy to help you with your plans, and we'll make sure that in the end everything will work. Or if you already have our devices, this is a great source where you can find all the information, as I said, about hardware or software. I have the software here, and I want to very quickly and briefly talk about what you can do with our software. First of all, I have to connect one of my devices to it. Yes, and I want to show you how we can map these 3 segments into the software and play some content. I mentioned already that our software is unique in a way that rather than rigid matrices and tables, you are doing the mapping with curves. How does that work? As you can see, by the way, normally you can download the software, you can play with it, you can have fun with it. You can't, however, output anything from the software. That you can do only after you either purchase a license for ArtNet or you purchase one of the LEC3 controllers. So the watermark is gone. That means that I have the ArtNet license activated on this particular PC. And I want to do a very quick mapping of the 3 segments that I have connected to this controller. So I have opened the mapping window and I want to find the IP 220. Hopefully I will be able to. There it is. So I want to add 3 segments. I'm not entirely sure what is the length of this segment, but we will figure that out later. And I want to draw 3 lines, 1 line for each of my digital strips. So these 3 lines, they represent my 3 segments. If you, and that is a great advantage of LED strip, if you would install it somewhere where it will be bent, or not in a shape or in some other shape than just a straight line, you can always bend it in the software, create a curve so that it will correspond to the shape of the strip that you've installed in real space. We can leave it as it is, and now I can assign my digital strips into my controller. And that you can do by simple drag and drop. I have set that there are 60 pixels in my segment. Let's see whether that is true. This, by the way, is a highlight function, so whenever you connect a strip and you want to quickly find it in the mapping, because imagine that you can right here have 100 segments, 100 different segments, and you are not sure which one you want to work with, you want to open this highlight function, select the color, and it should light up, as you can see in the preview, to the color that you've selected. But this is our first SPI lamp. Yes, and my strip does nothing. That is because I have to change the IC for this output. How can I do that? IC, that is the control chip. In this case, when I'm using the SPI lamp, I want to change the output 1 to LSS RGB. So it's not one of these that you are probably or maybe familiar with, so WS28 or TM18 something, but it's our custom protocol, and that custom protocol allows to send the data on a long distance. So I have to select LSS RGB. I'm in a different device. So like this, I know that I have selected a correct strip type because the test patterns are working. All right, So for my first segment, I actually know that there are, because this is brand new roll of a strip, so there will be 300 pixels in it, definitely. And if you remember, I also have to set up on the dip switch how many pixels there are connected to my SPI lamp. We have a tool for everything, so in advanced settings you can find a dip switch calculator where you can calculate which dips you should turn on. 3, 4, 6, 9. Three, 4, 6, 9. Nice. And we have to change also the output here. And now, if I highlight the segment, it will light up. Let's move to our second segment, which we will add into a group. And a group will allow you to put multiple segments into single output, which is what we are doing. Okay, we want to highlight our second strip, and in that sometimes you have to do an old school counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 29. And our third, which we can also assign to a group, highlight it and play some effect. Everything in the software is very intuitive and easy to work with. You have several different types of effects that you can play from the software, where you can create your own look, or you can use any kind of video for your content or for the effect that you want to play. So this is a very simple color effect, gradient, and you can create a lot of different looks. Let's see if there are any unanswered questions. And since we are already over an hour, and there are no more questions, I will just quickly check my notes, and I think that we can call it a day. One. I think I've covered everything that I wanted very quickly. This was an overview of what you can do with our devices, how we are dividing those devices. There is one more thing that I wanted to show you, and that is because I mentioned several times. Sorry. I mentioned several times ArtNet. So you can either purchase our controller with a lifetime software license, or you can purchase an SPI Matrix device, which is ArtNet to SPI converter, and for that you can purchase a software license. So you can use our software if you like the way how you do the mapping, how you can work with curves. You can purchase our software, and and you can select and purchase only the number of universes that you need for your project. So if you have, I don't know, 1000 pixels, you need 6 universes, you can purchase 6 universes. It's a 1-year license, and after 1 year you have to renew it. However, as I mentioned, as a standalone player, it will always work. But of course, you can use the software not with our devices, but with any third-party devices that are capable of working with ArtNet. And if you want to know even more, we can have a one-on-one training where you will send us your questions, and along with a technician, we'll be more than happy to answer those. Please, if you have any questions, go to our page, look for the information that you are not sure about, and if there is maybe anything else that you want to ask, write us an email, send us a message, and I think that we will make this very soon, sometime next week perhaps, where we'll be focused solely on the software. I will quickly give you an overview of how you can do the mapping, of what effect you can create, but next time we'll talk about the software extensively and we'll go more into detail. And I can see that there is one question. Second output. You are right. Okay, maybe we can perhaps have a 5-minute break. And if there will be any other question in the meantime, I will answer those, or I call you on chat. So in 5 minutes I will see you, and if there will be no more questions, then we will end this. So for those that will disconnect right now, thank you, and for the rest, see you in 5 minutes. Perhaps I can mute this.
Okay, as I can see, there are no more additional questions in the chat. Thank you for those that that had some questions in regards to our stuff. And as I mentioned, write us. We'll be more than happy to help you with your project. Thank you for joining, and see you next week when we will talk about the software, where I will show you how to do the mapping on a larger piece of strip, perhaps multiple strips, and I can also show you how to sync multiple controllers together. If you have any suggestions on what we can cover or what we should cover, write us also. Thank you again, have a nice day, and see you perhaps on some project. Thanks again, bye.